Hi, my name is Darren. I'm about to cook some fried rice and integrating sriracha in it. The thing is that it uses a chicken that needs to be browned first. I'm going to season it with some 5 spice, salt, pepper, the usual. And then kind of some fancy little sauces here and there. I learned how to cook maybe about 4 years ago. My mom taught me because I lived at home. There wasn't much to do except get good at basketball, work out, and learn how to cook. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm sharpening my cleaver. The cleaver is one of the critical things someone who loves cooking Chinese food should have. Reason being is because it's so weighty, and often what you have to do is chop the chicken or meat or whatever it is really fast, and this thing really does most of the chopping. Other thing is because there's a lot of scooping and putting it inside a wok, that whenever you have like food ready to be cut in the cutting board, you cut it down real good, really nice and fast. You group it all together and set it on top of this little cleaver, and then you put it right on your wok and you're set. So it's all about fast, efficient cooking methods. I think it's pretty sharp now. I'm running my hands through it. You hear that? That's pretty sharp. You know what I mean? So, all right, I think we're about ready. Let's do this. So I've defrosted some chicken thighs. My favorite thing about chicken thighs is that they're just more juicy. You can already see the juice coming out as I defrosted it. They're just more juicy, they've got more flavor, and they're cheaper. Sure, they've got some more fat, but you know what? It'll make for a better dish, especially when you're going to brown that chicken and the fat just becomes a part of the oil that it's cooking in. At this point, you just kind of do what you would do with a cleaver. You just cleave it with a lot of force when you start. And you kind of want it just to be little chunks, chunks of chicken. So, because we're making fried rice, one little cool fact, often when you stir fry things, say you stir fry with a noodle, often you'll make the rice, or you'll make the meat and veggies look like the noodles itself. So you'll make the veggies a little bit longer slices, you'll make the meat slices a little bit longer. But because we're using rice, we're going to make the shape of the chicken and the meat in this case look more like the rice. So kind of just little bits, you know what I mean? So just kind of, it's part of the style of the dish. And Chinese people will do that. Now it's time to season this bad boy a little bit. We're going to season it with some 5 spice powder. We're not going to forget the pepper and the salt. Let's take this kielbasa out. So what I like to do is I just kind of like to chop this end here and just clump them all together and cut them in nice little slices just to make it more exotic looking as far as the way it looks. You see the angle that I'm putting in it. It's a very Asian thing to do, to put an angle to your slices. You'll see that in scallions. You'll see that in garlic cloves that are put in sometimes. So we can see that our rice is about done. Let's see the timer over there. When it's spinning like that, it basically means there's going to be about 15 minutes left, so we're going to wait a little longer. So one of the quintessential cooking tools of Chinese or Asian cooking is the wok. You need a big wok, first of all. There's no such thing as a small wok. When you stir fry, what are you doing? You're probably stirring real good. The reason is because the heat you're using is really hot. Let's talk about the high heat you'll be using. So let's go look down here real quick. You're gonna turn it on, light it up, and you're gonna set it directly to high heat, because Chinese cooking requires everything to be done fast, hot, quick, and always stirred. The reason why you want to always stir is because with high heat, you're playing with intense heat here. Your food will burn in no time if you just let it sit. It's got to be stirred and stirred and stirred and stirred. That's why it's called stir fry. Oh, I forgot. You need some eggs. Okay, so we're gonna start with our oil here. I feel like our wok's pretty hot right now, but I'm going to confirm that by actually getting a sprinkle of water and putting it right on the wok. So let me wet my hands real quick and we're going to sprinkle it right now. Here we go. You can see the heat of the wok simply by how fast the water evaporates as soon as it touches the wok. So it's ready. So at this point we'll just put in just a little bit of oil. Okay, so when we get that oil in there, I'm going to set this right on top of the stove. This is the really important part. You need to spread the oil. So let's get this chicken. It's pretty seasoned very well now. At this point, I'm just going to put it right in. It's hot already, so it's ready to be browned. Let's get that chicken right in. bring some of that juices, really integrate it with the chicken. At this point, we're just waiting for the chicken to brown. We're gonna let it sit because it's very important that one side of the chicken is more well done than the other for now, and then we're gonna flip it later. So what I like to do is when you're waiting like this and your chicken is just kind of on standby, I like to season it a little bit. Here's where the sriracha comes in. We're gonna put the sriracha right over it, kind of like in a, there we go. That'll just really season the chicken really well there. Okay, wow, I think it looks about ready now. Let's go, let's give it a shot. Oh man, look at that. That's golden brown. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go mix it up. Oh man, that's good. There we go. You can see some browning of the chicken. Look at that. You want a little bit of that blackness because it brings the smokiness of your meat. So at this point, the chicken is what we call par cooked. It's about there, but you've got the one side that's already been cooked. So at this point, what you want to do is bring out the egg that we wanted to cook earlier. Let that egg do its cooking, get this chicken out of the way. Alright, so now that our eggs cooked pretty well, we're going to just kind of move it aside. It doesn't matter how nice the egg looks, we're just going to flip it right over. There we go. Get right over the edge over there. Push it aside. And you know what this means? It means we're ready to get our other meat in, our friend, the kielbasa sausage. We're going to take as much as we can right over our cleaver, just like that. Dump it right in. Kind of let it chill just like that, and we're about ready to move on to the next step. I'm moving the rice right over the meats that I cooked. The reason being is the rice doesn't need an additional level of browning or cooking. That'll just soften the rice too much and it'll just overcook the rice. We're going to get our garlic in and we're going to just put it right on the edge so it cooks nicely. The reason we're not putting it right over the rice is because we want a little bit of browning on that garlic. So what my mom would always say is, when you smell it, it's ready. So right where I stand here, I actually already smell it. So what I'm going to do, move it back into its normal position, mix everything. This is where the word stir fry really comes in, because you need to stir everything really good. You do not want things sitting down at the bottom of the wok for a long period of time, because you'll burn it real quick. All right, so here's a really important part. It's your four things I haven't put down yet, okay? It's your fish sauce, your soy sauce, your sriracha for later, but then you need this dry chili and then the chicken broth that we'll put in a little bit later. So what we're going to do is we're going to take pieces of this and just kind of crush it, let it just come down right over the fried rice. So if you don't like the spice, you can actually just get your dry chili and just get rid of the little the chili seeds that are right there. They're actually the spicy part. You can get the good stuff, the one that actually tastes like something, right over and put it right on your fried rice. You need to stir it as much as you can. Kind of scoop the inside because it's very important that you get everything, every part of the rice. It's got to be mixed real good. At this point, you can get this chicken broth really good. You need it because it's got kind of like an MSG-like taste to it. Alright, and then the really important thing is you'll need the fish sauce. It gives it that complete, complex seafood taste. You know when you just really want to crave seafood? It's that flavor that you just can't describe. Well, that's in there, and that'll make it taste really good. So we're going to be a little bit generous about it. And then, to give a little bit more brown and for that slightly nuttier taste, we're going to give it some premium dark soy sauce, but not too much, because it'll look too dark, and that's not what my fried rice is supposed to look like. Our dish is about ready. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back on low. You just kind of sprinkle your veggies right over it. And veggies are really good, brings out the color, but also really brings out the complexity of the texture. You don't want too much so that it doesn't kind of dominate the taste of your fried rice, which is already pretty complex. Let's put this guy away. We're done with it. All right. Let's stir it around. Get everything in there. We just want the colors of the veggies to just peek right over our dish, but not dominate the dish. So here's stir frying. Just constantly mixing it around and letting every part of the ingredients just really come together and make for just a really good dish. Lastly, you can't forget that as you mix your dish together, you want to have the sriracha over it. Because you need the taste of sriracha, the chili sauce, over your whole dish. Let's get everything mixed together. Let's grab a spoon. All right, I've got a spoon here. Let's taste test it. Let me just grab one part of the rice here, not the chicken. That's for later. Oh man, that is so good. You got the heat from the sriracha, from the dry chili. You've got just the wonderful complex taste of the fish sauce. You can feel the nuttiness of the soy sauce, the garlic. You got the eggs for the crispiness that you get in there. Scoop it right over our plate here. I'm starving. I just want to be able to eat this right now. Got my sriracha ready. All right. Before I put the sriracha, as wonderful as it is, I'm gonna taste test this right now. Get some of that chicken, scoop of some of the veggies, the rice. Oh man. Alright, so you can honestly make this at home. It's really easy. You saw exactly how I did it. I only use three kinds of meats, proteins. I use a sausage, I use a chicken, I use the eggs. Really the bare minimum is just the egg. That's it. You can totally forego the smokiness of the sausage if you want. You can get rid of the chicken if you want. That's just bonus steps. Imagine that. It can be really easy. Just get that rice cooked in advance, whether or not you cook a dish before that uses that rice, or you make a rice for that day with being a little bit dehydrated. And then you can make a dish just that easy, and it tastes delicious. It's got carbs, it's got proteins, it's got just a little bit of veggies on the side. But otherwise, this dish is just so good. It's got so much kick, really brings out the flavor with everything that's combined. It just fits so perfectly into one big dish. Again, this is the chicken and sausage fried rice. It's got a little bit of Chinese and Indonesian influence, and it's great. Thanks for watching with this with me.